What is going on, everybody? I want to apologize for the footage of last year's show. I had to videotape it with my camera off my computer because the software that I use expired and I haven't had a chance to renew it. One of the things I wanted to show you from this year's show, are these consumer electric matches that I've been testing and I love, and as soon as I get clearance from the website I'll tell you guys all about them. They're awesome and they're very inexpensive. One of the things I did last year was I timed out fuse, how long it takes to burn, an inch, foot, I can't remember which one I did, probably an inch or a half inch, and that's how I timed out my show, just to get practice. If you look at my footage from last year towards the end, I know it's hard to see, and once again I apologize, but that you can tell when the finale really starts to kick up, and it kind of starts a little slow and then it really speeds up towards the end. But this year it'll be a lot better. I'll be able to use these, and what I can do, instead of connecting the electric match at the the manufacturer's point of an artillery shell, where the manufacturer wants you to light it at, I can trim that down, maybe not this short, and I can clip it in by the lift charge. But I want to show you how these work. A lot of you already know, I know, but I'm doing this for the viewers that don't necessarily understand how this works. It's just what it sounds like. It's an electric match. As you can see, I know it's kind of blurry, but the dark spot down in there right above my finger, that's actually a filament. And as soon as you put power to that, it burns, and it burns for roughly a second and a half or 2 seconds. And that's what ignites your fuse. Hold on 1 second, I'll set this up. But what you do is you actually clip the fuse in the end of the electric match, and it pins it right against the filament in there. It'll pin it right against the filament inside there, and as soon as you put power to it, it'll light. Another thing that I'm using this year, instead of going to a hardware store and buying wire where you're going to pay an arm and a leg, I bought 500 feet of wire, and what I did was I just Googled fireworks wire or pyrotechnic wire, and you're going to find this stuff, and it's great. I'll be able to save it and use it from year to year. It doesn't have multi-strands. Let me set it against the paper. It doesn't have multi-strands. It's one single strand. Real fine gauge wire, and I love it. I'm going to buy a whole bunch more for this year so I can put my I can get more distance between my firing system that I built this year and my display. Now I'm going to walk you guys over to the firing system. I built this. This is actually a toolbox that I purchased at a local store, and I've modified it. I put 150 cues in here. Each pin is a cue. What this is, it's a glorified pinboard system. Pinboard system is classic in the pyrotechnic business. Before they had the computers for their ignition systems, they used the pinboards, and they're extremely heavily used, and they were very good. They're very solid pieces of equipment. The problem is they're still really expensive. So I've built my own. I've added a few bells and whistles, like I threw a light up there. I wanted to make it key activated so that you had to have a key in before anything would fire. Just a safety feature. So I added the key. You turn the key to the on position. The red light lets you know that you're live, that your positive terminal stick, which you'll use, I'll explain that here in a minute, that you got power going to it, and that's just a battery indicator. Lets me know that I'm fully charged, because the last thing I want is to go out to a show and have my battery die midway through. This is really going to be hard to see, I apologize, but I'll lift this up because I know some people are going to be curious Runs off a 12-volt battery. You can kind of see right there. And I've only got 2 rows wired up, and it's just madness. So it's going to get real confusing. Not necessarily confusing, it's going to get difficult to manage, but what we're going to do is I'm just going to pretend that I have everything on here. What still needs to be put on, I need battery terminals so I can charge the battery without having to go through and lift this board up every time. Also, how the pin board works is all of these are grounded. None of them have positive power going to them. The positive power that I touch to them using a tool, and it'll most likely be a modified screwdriver that'll have a wire going through the board into the positive terminal of the battery. So that makes the metal screwdriver hot, and as soon as I touch it to one of the pins, we'll have ignition. And each one of these will be mainly artillery shells for me. I might fuse. Sure, there's only 150 pins, but you can fuse as many fireworks. You can have a cake and an artillery shell, or you can have 12 artillery shells on one pin. So really, it's countless, the amount of fireworks I can do off of this system. 150 may have been overkill if I got creative with how I fused everything, but for your beginning of your show, what I like about the pin board system is you can go as fast as you want. So I can kick the show off with a bang and knock out 3 or 4, and then I can slow it down, go to the rhythm of the music, and then towards the finale, you can really get it going and just go through everything. One of the examples that I've been thinking about is I'm going to have mines in my show this year. If you don't know what a mine is, just look it up on YouTube. You'll figure it out. Picture yourself in the spectator's position, looking towards the display. The left side and the right side, I'm going to have a mine. And at the beginning of the show, the music's going to start off slow, and as soon as it hits that first bass note, I want the left and the right mine to go off at exactly the same time. Well, instead of trying to touch both of these at the same time, where I could get off a little bit, and I may not hit it perfect, I'm going to run a wire between these two and then just touch one. And that'll set both of them off at the same time. That's just kind of a brief overview of my firing system. I'm going to keep you guys up to date, and as soon as I get clearance from all my websites, I'll do some testing with my firing system so you guys can see that in action before the show, and I'll demo some of their products, and we'll look at their products and see what they got, and I'll give you wholesale prices, whatever they give me. So I hope you guys like this. Leave me some comments. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think I should add if I've left anything out, and I can answer any questions you guys have. Other than that, this is John of Pyromaniacs signing off.